All right, guys, we are back with another cast for NGS. We have tonight Luxorian Sun versus Salted Snacks. Lux is, well, right now, they are taking a look at the record. They are currently near the bottom. They're in 10th place, 0 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. So they're actually not doing poorly. It's just that those draws really hurt since the draws only net you 1 point apiece versus the domination, which gets you, a massive 3 points in comparison. Salted Snacks, on the other hand, have taken 2 clear wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. We actually saw Salted Snacks facing off against 2 plus 2, who is right now actually in a three-way tie between 2 plus 2, Amazing, and Salted Snacks. So hopefully, Lux will be able to take their first clean win for this NGS series. So for the bans, let's actually get down to what's happening here. We got Medivh and Amaev being banned out. Both very strong bans. I'm impressed that Phoenix was not banned out, but Medivh on this map is very strong. This was the pick for, I believe it was Salted Snacks, or sorry, Lux. Yeah, Lux. No, yeah, Salted Snacks won the toss. There we go. Or Bay Street, or and Bay State won the toss. So Lux could have gotten that. So sorry about the confusion there. So Medivh is definitely powerful, and he can grant vision. He can grant ability to jump across to basically any of the turn-ins, be able to disengage, and it's much shorter the lanes too, so he can get in and out in terms of being able to get his team to safety. Now, on the other hand, Medivh does allow the fact that there is the Phoenix still available, but we saw Stukov and Hanzo picked up. Stukov's super powerful. Hanzo in general is really powerful. He can also pick up the armor shredding to help counter the Garage, who is himself a very powerful first pick. You see a lot of teams actually ban him out as well because they just don't want to play around his ability to sustain very well due to his increasing armor, his ability to throw people into the middle of his team in the easy wombo combos he sets up. Oh, it's actually 3 draws now. So that's a lot of draws on the side of Luxorian Sun. That's actually kind of crazy, to be honest. But that actually means that Lux is a strong team. They don't give up matches that easily, and so their opponents are not able to take clean series off of them either. So it's pretty even the games that they have, which means that they just need to do probably a little bit more work, clean up some play to get themselves to catapult, a domination, and which will then get them up there in the rankings. So Malfurion is super powerful with the Garage. We still have the the ability to root on the throw. We got the Blaze for the solo lane. So Tomb of the Spider Queen, I'd love to see Leo picked up side of Lux. Lux will get a lot of benefit out of him. For one, Leo can dual wave clear eventually if needed, and he also generally seems to win the lane against Blaze. Now, you can almost say Leo's a worse pick in terms of, yeah, Blaze will lose the lane, but usually you'll get a lot more value out of the the Blaze with Bunker. Leo is kind of a more late game hero, especially if you take Entomb. Level 20 Entomb basically wins your games for you. So a level 20 Entomb is a game changer. But like up until that point, Blaze's Bunker usually is more valuable. However, most of the time I see Blaze's losing in lane against Leo's. But for one, like he has to stand in place to actually self heal, and if he's using his self healing, not actually on the wave, he basically loses his ability to clear simultaneously. So it's a very clear trade-off on how Blaze plays. He has to basically drop his combo to nuke the minion wave from afar and not get drain hoped. So Malthael has been banned out, Junkrat has been banned out, and Junkrat is obviously to keep the displacement phase from going through, where you get the throw, you get knockbacks, you get the root. And the Malthael ban is, well, to keep someone from fighting against Blaze in the solo lane. And I still think they can easily pick up a Leo, but they've opted for a really crazy combo here. They got Genji, Hanzo, and Phoenix. So Phoenix, a lot of people will point out, Phoenix can actually solo lane. He has good wave clear, and so I think they're going to be thrown for a bit of a loop here on the side of Salted Snacks, not expecting this Phoenix to come through. For one, like, I would have expected Phoenix 100% since he was not banned out, but probably not expecting him to be in the solo lane simultaneously, because Phoenix just has to eat Blaze a stun and then he just ports away, or he ports away before he gets stunned because there's a wind up time for jet propulsion. And with Genji available, he can easily come down to help gank Blaze if Blaze ever wastes his jet propulsion. So the final pickups are Chromie and Greymane. I've been highly critical of Greymane picks in the recent times for games, and I gotta say, the Greymane in this comp is perfect. Now this is what most teams should be looking towards, which is, when do I pick up a Greymane? Like, I shouldn't just spam a Greymane, in my opinion. Or a team shouldn't just spam Greymane. For one, a lot of times people are playing double warrior comps, and double warrior comps just obliterate Greymane with all the CC they will drop on a Greymane if he engages. Additionally, you then they have no real hard CC. Stukov CC, Hanzo with his arrow. So you get the silence, you get the arrow, and you get Johanna Condemned / Blessed Shield. It's, on the whole, it's much more minor. All right, so while that's loading in, hopefully my cam will actually work appropriately this time. So we'll see a draft that's Johanna, Stukov, Hanzo, Phoenix, and Genji. I really like what Lux has right now. They have Johanna for the wave clear, Hanzo to help clean up, and Stukov with his Larking Arm to help clean up the waves. On the other side, the Chromie is going to help delay the turn-ins a lot, but at the same time, I don't know. They're going to really have to play off of the throws from Garrosh into Malfurion roots, but Greymane will be, I think, getting a lot of value this game. All right, guys. So we are finally heading into the match. We got Lux Swoop. So I'm going to skip all the Luxes since we got Swoop on that Hanzo. We got Bay State on the Johanna. We got Haze on the Stukov. Electra on the Phoenix. Patches on the Genji. And we got some great Skinergy and Mount Skinergy happening here. So look for Lux to win this just based off the advantage that gives. On the other side for Salted Snacks, we have Infrared on the Greymane. We got Chips on the Blaze. We got Rossi on the Malfurion. Blaze TDB not on the Blaze, on the Garrosh, and Energy. Dropping the bombs. Give him your energy as Chromie. So we got our mid-fight. The footsie battle has broken out. So Johanna will clear these waves pretty easily. There's a nice combo from Blaze. They're getting onto the Stukov, but there's not enough follow-up to really take him out at this point. Infrared didn't commit there, which I think is fine. Garrosh just harassing him, and he's also building up his stacks probably. Yeah, he took Warbreaker. So we're actually going to see deep breathing here. It's interesting because you don't see this nearly as often, the deep breathing. Adrenaline Stimpak, we got the Warbreaker. We have Nature Swiftness, Viciousness coming out. We got the Laws of Hope, Growing Infestation, Redemption, Advanced Targeting, and finally Swift as Wind. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the armor shredding for Hanzo just to really screw up Barash's innate armor that he gains when he loses HP. In the bot lane, we got Phoenix winning this lane right now. Chips going on in, not going to actually connect. That's okay. It doesn't really take any damage at this point. 4 of 120. That takes nearly forever. And that's one of the downsides by choosing this. There's another throw, but Swoop will just be able to jump on over. So Hanzo is a really bad target for Rush to actually grab, because once Blaze throws him in, especially around here, he can just jump over the walls and basically get out for free. He needs a root immediately. So the combination has to really, really be on point. There's another throw onto Lux. Hanzo going on in. There's a nice silence from Hayes, going to be able to disengage, but Infrared being able to just get out just in the nick of time, being able to Eon out of there. And he was looking like he'd be one dead pup, but he makes it on out. Thankfully, cooldown came up and he was able to do so. So you got Electra down bottom, really spanking Chips right now. At this point, there's no way for Chips to win this. I don't think many people actually can realistically win against Phoenix, which is why I'm surprised that they would even offer the opportunity to give Phoenix to Lux. So on the other side of the map, wars have been picked up. We're going to see the Conviction, so extra speed, being able to avoid getting thrown, potentially being able to get out if he is thrown, being able to catch up to people, highly useful. We're going to also see the one good spread. There's Iron Skin being popped. Nothing for nothing's going to happen here. We got the Explosive Arrow, so we're going to get more Wave Clear, Emergency Protocol, and finally Strike at the Heart. That's for Lux's side. We've also got Enveloping Assault. So Base State taking a lot of damage. Very nice body blocks coming out from Blaze, and he will be going down. Genji, nicely done with that E, manages to escape Blaze's. Well, I guess this will be slightly confusing. We'll just say TDB, since there's actually a Blaze in the match. So TDB's Q, he dodges it with the Swift. Infrared now getting harassed a little bit. There comes the Lurking Arm, not going to really do much there. And they have now gotten themselves a little bit of a gain or advantage. They're now going to be able to turn in some of those gems without getting poked. We got 22 drop, 25 on the other side. There's a throw onto Patches. Patches doesn't have to really worry at this point. There's a nice E onto Rossi. Malfurion will go down. He's going to be in the Emerald Dream for a little while. Patches, however, will not be getting out of there as Infrared just chomps on down, gets himself a Genji, and looks like Blaze threw TDB threw him over. A little strange, but nonetheless, it's okay. They got themselves a kill on Genji. They countered the kill, and really they're getting themselves a little bit of a nice lead here now. Salted Snacks. Now, nothing major. TDB taking a lot of poke damage from Swoop over there. There comes Rossi coming on in. Gets thrown on out. The root coming out really late. Kind of wasteful. But 7s have been hit for both teams. Patch is trying to clear up the mid, and he has to be really careful. There's also a gank attempt coming on down. Okay, so Hayes has gotten it on out. There's a silence. Interrupt on there. So Salted Snacks is now applying all the pressure for the most part. There is 7, and Base State will actually sneak it in. They did get the extra kills, but as they all congregated around bottom, other than Base State, they have so much poke, it's very easy. They just basically need to not be where the Chromie is on Lux, and they can get the turn in, which is what, well, she was down here, allowing Base State to actually turn in for the side of Lux. So taking a look at what else we have. So we have the Dragon's Eye and Enveloping Assault. So a full Dragon's Eye build. Dragon's Breath build. You don't really see this very often. I'd say this is almost never seen, honestly. We'll see how well it works out though. So we're going to get Chromie's technically heroic coming on out now. There's Base State coming on in very deep now, but he's just interrupting. Ooh, TDB just misses the Q, aim in the wrong way. So top's been cleared out, not a whole lot done there. Top is very important to clear because it sets up for taking the boss. And when you have a Hanzo, although he didn't take the talent to help them do the boss, it's very important still to control that boss and potentially like use it in the game. So mid is cleared up. Mid lost the front wall. Bot lost the front wall. There's a lot of pressure now on the side of Salted Snacks to recover. There's walls on every part of the map for Lux on the other hand. But what's really good for Salted Snacks, Blaze already has completed his Q quest. Now he'll be able to use this significantly more, interrupt them significantly more, and this is going to be really, really important, especially when he picks up the shielding that goes with the Q. So TDB is carrying 20, Infrared holding 12. They have multiple people who can turn in, and even Chips. Phoenix is actually lead him down to Patches. I don't know if this is where they want to lead him because I think they lose this. There's the loop onto Lux. Lux is getting annihilated. The loop lands, energy drop in the Spirit Bomb, and so you know that is definitely not what you really want. And they have no cleanse, so this is not a really good battle for them to have. Energy does not have up his big damage. Very nice Dragon's Arrow coming on in. There's the Dragon's Blade. Chips gets interrupted on the jet propulsion. Well, I guess more so bodied on his jet propulsion. Energy not able to connect with another Dragon's Breath. And down goes a counter kill on the side of Lux. So they do get the Web Weavers that are now descending. They'll be able to apply some counter pressure. They do lose the Siege Giants. At the same time, we see a bunch of heroics be used, like very big heroics. And these Web Weavers are going to be pushing when both teams are essentially even. So they're looking for the gank here. There's a Base State capturing him out. Rossi, now Patch is coming on in with that Swift Strike. Silence coming out, and Genji will not be able to make it out. So there's the Curse Bullet. It's actually 4 people now. Nice interrupt from Base State. Throw. There's going to be 30 gems lost, though, for Lux. They have just lost 30 gems. They lose the Chromie, but they lose 2 on the side of Lux. So a really nice attempt to gank on the side of Lux. Like, they catch him out. I do think Base State should have let them walk in. He was over here, and then he just basically flashlighted them. And I feel like he should have let them walk in, condemn them, and keep the fight a little bit closer at that point. And Genji had a Swift Strike in. Then at that point, there's nowhere for him to go, especially with a taunt. He's not going to escape. So they get a lot out of this. On the counter side, they take down a fort, they don't get a wall, and they don't get a wall here. So it's a bit of a wash, if you will. Like, the mid's opened up on the side of Lux, top is opened up a little bit, not much, and bottom is heavily opened up. In the meantime, though, we're actually going to see Electra bust out the Purification Salvo. I'm not going to really do anything there. That's kind of a big ult to be down. Not terribly long, but not great either. Swoop going to be able to get on out of there real easily. Electra, though, they're still searching for him. Oh no, there's 4 members. There's the attempt to try and juke him out, and all of Lux is collapsing. There's the Blessed Shield. They are now onto them. There's a toss up by TDB, and that will disengage the situation entirely. So Blessed Shield's down. Purification salvos down for a little bit, and they now have enough for a back-to-back turn-in on the side of Salted Snacks. It looks like they're going to try and interrupt this. Ooh, Infrared just taking the tip right there. Base State is all alone right now, so as long as he's not tossed in, he should be okay. There's the Unstoppable. He's going to re-engage here to interrupt as the rest of the team comes on in. There is the time trap. Not going to do too much. Oh, he's rooted though, Garage. There they go. There's the arrow onto him. They have secured the kill onto Garage. He's been blown up. There's the Twilight Dream though, and a big root going to be coming on down to Base State, and that will be the only kill though for Garage, except if Energy can land this. Patches does have the Swift Strike up, and he will be walking on out of here. So a lot of damage drop in. Energy just dropping bombs all day long. 23k basically at this point of the game, but at the same time Hanzo is almost at the same numbers. So they dropped some bombs, they got themselves a single kill, And the good news is they held on to their gems. They still can go and turn in with what they have. Patches reading that without actually being able to see the Dragon's Breath, expecting it to come on in. And so they're still looking to turn in Lux. Oh no, that's really bad. Base state is really low. They're going to hammer onto Hayes. They're looking for the kill here. There's a nice cue from TDP. Say goodbye to Stukov and Johanna. A love story that you never knew existed. So that is going to be really, really bad. And there is a bunker drop along with the ice block to ensure that purification salvo gets absolutely no value. So this is one of the things. Purification salvo gets canceled out by a bunker. So even though he beats him in lane, he then loses the value of his heroic essentially, unless they can lock him down or lock the enemy team down or use it after the bunker. You have to be basically holding it or CCing before they can get into the bunker. There's a time loop. There's the arrow to prevent anything. Infrared goes on in to try and chew on up Swoop, but I guess the dog treat wasn't good enough for him, and Swoop will manage to survive. So we now have the back-to-back web weavers. A lot of heroics have been blown on both sides. The base state is on top of TDB looking for the catch on Patches. There's the Iron Skin coming on out. He's now going to be rooted though. There's the root, and I don't know if they'll be able to do anything off that. Okay, so they clear out one tower. Swoop has taken a lot of damage here. They're looking to finish up one of these one into the other towers, and then they can make their way back into mid. Bot lane has already been lost, so really they just need to interrupt the rotations here as they are right now on the side of Salted Snacks. Nice job from Base State, coming on in, being aggressive, trying to prevent him from getting a lot of value there. Base State just getting absolutely nuked on down, basically losing close to 50% of his health from Energy's combo. So the good news for Lux is they have 64 gems, which means they can turn in and actively defend. Or sorry, they can turn in and be able to counter all of Salted Snacks push that they have so far. So taking a look, looks like we're going to see a gank attempt come on out. Nothing special. There's the flashlight. Base State going to kind of come on in, but we have all of Salted Snacks sitting around waiting for a delicious, nutritious treat. But say hello to Patches. Patches just drops on in some gems, and blue web weavers are going to be descending on into this now. So there's a nice engage coming on in. They're going to be annihilating one member there. Infrared being caught out from the Blessed Shield. There's another one. Say goodnight to two members of Salted Snacks. Twilight Dream coming on in to try and prevent a further engage. And very nicely done on the side of Lux. They find themselves a pick. Salted Snacks was unfortunately too split, and that's not necessarily a great place for them to fight, especially with Hayes there. Hayes drops that Stukov lurking arm, and, well, say goodnight. Like, you're not going to be able to do anything against the lurking arm, against that. Some T-Tours for you, so sorry about that. They're getting a ton of value now. They hit 16. Taking a look at what each team has. We got timeout and the quantum overdrive. We got the fuel leak, thermal chips. There's the Blessed Shield coming on in again. Hayes taking a lot of damage. There's the root. There's the bunker. And say goodbye as the stiff arm has taken him to another planet. They won't be getting anything else. The bunker doing a lot of work there. So they managed to take down the front wall. They managed to take down a front wall, and they managed to take down a front wall. That's a lot of value. I mean, they didn't get a keep, but now they can pressure any of these keeps trivially because they have 67 gems. 67 gems, and they need to go and turn them in ASAP. Unfortunately, Base State is the one who's carrying half of these gems at this point, so they really need some good zone control. And it actually looks like Salted Snacks, instead of trying to contest this, are opting to get the bruisers to try and help alleviate some pressure. Now, I'm not sure I agree with this, Paul, of going on in because are taking the bruisers. They had all the heroics available now, and I think they could have had a pretty fair fight. They have a Chromie, and Chromie should be getting them some good poke. And if we look, she completed her Sandblast as well. And we did get the sharpened arrowheads, which I mentioned before. I didn't have a chance to go over all these talents since there's been, a ton of action. Holy Fury, Imposing Presence, the Pox Populi, Virulent Reaction, Ninja Assassin, Piercing Arrows, Auxiliary Shields, Arsenal, Overcharge, the Steady Blade, and Flow Like Water. Base, and we got TDB coming on in. There's the arrow whiffing. Swoop is being the focus. There's the taunt. There's the damage. And say goodbye to Hanzo. And we only have one living Shimada brother at this point, and they should be able to clear this up relatively for free at this point now. So they do have to contend with losing a bottom keep, however. Very nicely done for getting the kill, but they lose a keep. The only good news is that they really needed to sacrifice that keep, in my opinion, because it's a 20 versus 18 situation. If it was a 5v5, they were looking at losing every keep and potentially losing a giant fight. TDB getting the throw. There's the root. There's a follow-up stun onto Patches, and there goes Infrared looking for the kill. He will not be able to secure it. They are on the chase right now. There's the throw from TDB. They are looking for Patches. One more hit. Down he goes. And there we go. Infrared on the prowl right now. They are now chasing down Hayes, who has nowhere to go. He has been taunted. Electra cannot help. There is 3 members down right now on the side of Lux. They did the worst thing possible. They tried to overstay, and we do see the shield apparently being down, but not actually in the game. I don't know what's happening in this game UI, but apparently it's ticking down. So there's a UI bug, a very funny one. So Salted Snacks now have a huge opportunity here. They're not 20, but they do have a 3-man advantage in the meantime. Infrared taking a lot of damage. He needs to back on out and just let the regen heal him up in the meantime. So they also have enough for a turn in. They need to go and turn in right now alongside of this boss. And then they'll have the pressure to not have to defend. They can push alongside the boss, and they're actually looking to delay this, but if they delay this, Bay State might be cut out. There's the Blessed Shield to safely poke him down and prevent him from turning in, but that's a heroic down. Now they'll be able to melt through the boss, but the Web Weavers are coming. They'll help defend. Garage is actually full back there, so they actually have an opportunity right now to fight him as a 5v4 on the side of Lux. They don't get any value out of that boss because of very nicely done by Base Day, safely preventing him from doing anything. And the Web Weavers are all the way back. So they get this great opportunity to get a kill, but or they get these great kills, but they aren't able to capitalize on it. So they get the boss. Bay State interrupts the turn-in twice and then prevents them from actually doing anything alongside the boss. However, they do have everything up except they don't have to worry about Blessed Shield for the next 8 seconds. However, I don't think they actually know how much cooldown is left on Blessed Shield since it's so short. And since it's so short, TDB looking for a big flank here. There he goes. There's the Q going to whiff, but they can potentially... Nah, Bay State has that conviction, allowing him to speed on out of there. And that's kind of critical. Electra, though, might be getting caught out. He does warp away. They are still looking. He does get dismounted, TDB. There's the throw. Chips now has jet propulsion potentially to come on in. Johanna, she has Iron Skin. There's the Q. But they send Garage to the other side of the map. There's a big Dragon Arrow. Electra is so close to dying. There's the Ice Block. And Malfurion will not survive this. Bay State is super low as well. They send him out. Bunker being used. Energy will not be able to survive this. They engage, but they engage without a Garage as he's sent to the other side of the map. And Hayes once again uses that stiff arm to send another member of Salted Snacks all the way to the other side. Infrared trying to secure the kill, will be able to do so. They trade out though, and they've lost another member. There's one man standing. There's the taunt, and I do not think it'll be for much because TDB has 4 members chasing, but a beautiful Q coming out from TDB, and he's still looking to escape, but Patches comes on in with the swift strike and say goodbye. Wow. What a terrific fight there. Hayes MVP, baby. I mean, is absolutely crazy. I mean, Blaze, or sorry, Hayes just dropping the arm to send him across, like, and he picked up push comes a shove. So he had that cooldown basically reduced instantly, allowing him to do it 5 seconds later to send another member of Salted Snacks across the planet. So, taking a look at some of these numbers that we have in the meantime, Gromy doing so much work. Greymane actually doing a ton of work there as well. And if we look at the healing numbers, they're super close as well. What it came down to was the few fights that we saw Salted Snacks make a mistake on. That last fight, they committed without Barrage. And then they were still fighting after that. And a huge arrow coming on in as well from Swoop. I mean, it looked like Electro was going to die, but the counter engage from Lux was so good and so crisp. I mean, you don't see counter engages usually that good, especially when a single member is nearly on the brink of death. So Phoenix honestly almost got no value in terms of DPS. He did a ton of work in the siege department, but in actual DPS numbers, he wasn't actually contributing very heavily, in part due to that bunker, the ice block, the timeout. I mean, really, Phoenix had no one to use his purification salvo on. They basically negate it entirely since you can time it 100%. I'd almost say Planet Cracker could have had more value here, just at least like to nuke the bunker, because if you drop down the bunker in the Planet Cracker, it's going to get melted. So very nice job here on the side of Lux, and a nice attempt from Salted Snacks to secure themselves the win. Unfortunately, didn't go their way that last team fight, so they still have another opportunity to once again prevent Lux from reaching the coveted domination. So sit on tight, and we'll be right back with the second match of the series.